because there's a lot of money to be lost with marijuana and psilocybin and all these things becoming legal. There's a lot of shit that people are taking that might not be necessary and might have some unintended side effects and consequences that you don't get with natural remedies.
Right. It's like they say, there's no money in the cure.
Yeah. There should be.
There should be.
Yeah.
But for them, there isn't. Like,
it's such a problem when people can make a lot of money off of something.
Yeah.
As soon as they find a thing that they can sell you that they can make a lot of money off, they want to keep selling it to you.
Yeah.
No matter what.
And then you have other companies that do the knockoff versions of what they do to sell more of it to you.
It's just, I've been paying a lot of attention over the years about the opioid crisis and the pill problem. And that's something we talked about with Mariana Van Zeller too, because when I first met her, I had her on because she did this thing called the OxyContin Express.
Right.
Where she explained the pill mills in Florida and how people would buy the oxys and bring them up the highway to Kentucky and all these places, and people with horrible addictions and horrible overdose stories, and it was all coming from Florida. And there was no database. So you could have a back, my back hurts. You go to this place, they go, you need OxyContin. And literally you go right next door to the same building, and that's where they give you the Oxy. And that's all they prescribe. And they don't have a database. So then you go down the street to another doctor because these pain management clinics were everywhere.
That seems like it's a thing in Florida.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a thing in Florida. They cleaned it up.
I mean, they had this...
allegedly.
They had this show called Claws, right? That... old girl that did Reno 911, Niecy Nash, right? She starred in this TV show called Claws, and it's her and a group of women, trying to come up in a salon, like make the best salon. But the other way that they're making money is through the pills and through one of these type of one of these type of clinics. And it's basically showing you the game on how people are doing in Florida, how these folks, this is like a thing out there.
Yeah.
The pain management clinics and all that stuff with the OxyContin, all that stuff. What trips me out is that, this fentanyl thing, right? People know about it. It's been out there, yet they'll still challenge themselves and try to party like the shit ain't present. It's like the gamble they're taking with that. It just blows my mind.
I think that hard drug addiction is a different thing.
Yeah.
I really think it's a different thing. I haven't experienced it, but I have friends that have, and they get scared like they got captured by a demon. And when they get clean, they don't want to fuck around with nothing.
Yeah.
They're like, dude, you don't understand. I got captured by a demon. And it's kind of, if you wonder, when people talk about demonic possession, that was always a thing back in the day.
Yeah.
Before people really had an understanding of human psychology and myths and lores and what people are terrified of. Demonic possession was a real thing. But if you think about what happens to someone when they get really hooked on meth, I mean, how much different is that than being captured by a demon? You're captured by a chemical demon that's ruining your life, wants you to get in a fist fight with cops, wants you to drive with no fucking tires, wild shit.
Yeah.
It's a chemical demon.
It does possess you. I mean, look, when people were doing the PCP thing back in the day, right? Back in Southgate, when Seth and I were younger, before we were... while we were in demo stages, right, doing our demos and stuff like that, we'd, trek around the city, go to parties and stuff like that, house parties, if you will. And every now and then, because we were broke ass bastards, we didn't always have cars. We'd be walking to the parties and stuff like that from where Cyprus or whatever. And every now and then you would come across a couple of, gangsters that were PCP'd out. And these dudes, I mean, if you got into some shit with them, you were dealing with someone who didn't know their strength and their abilities at that point.
Yeah, they would break handcuffs.
They would break handcuffs. We've seen, so...
Is that real? Did people really break handcuffs on PCP, or is that one of those myths?
Well,
I had always heard that
they could definitely break windows like nothing.
They do wild shit.
They do wild shit. So there was this kid